What's going on, leaders and influencers? So this is in response to a great question that Corey, who is a young lieutenant in the Army, posed in the 360 Movement Personal Growth Tribe. And I think it's an excellent question. So he asked, how do you stay outside your comfort zone when your current environment doesn't challenge you? How do you stay outside your comfort zone when your current environment doesn't challenge you? So I've got 5 points here. 5 points, and I've got my notes here, took some notes on this because I think it's an excellent question. Now, here's my overall, perspective or worldview, if you will. Philosophy is no growth happens inside your comfort zone. Sounds cheesy, but in my opinion, and a lot of other authors and stuff, not that I'm an author, there are a lot of other authors that feel the same way, that no growth happens inside your comfort zone, and I totally agree. When you're going to the gym, if you don't break a sweat, right, you gotta break a sweat. You gotta push yourself. You gotta check your limits, stretch your limits. So that's a big philosophy of mine, is that no growth happens in your comfort zone. Okay, so with that being said, number one, to answer your question, Corey, my 2 cents here, assess why you feel that way. Why do you feel like, do the emotional work, do an emotional analysis, an emotional assessment, which most people don't do. Most people don't take the time to reflect, why do I feel this way? Why do I feel like I'm not being challenged? That's a great one. So what are my emotions that I'm feeling? Number one. Number two, so this is 1A. 1B is, where are these emotions coming from? What's the source? What is the origin story? I like to call it that. What is the origin story of my emotions? Number 1C, why is this important? Is because you don't want to be running emotionally to or from something out of some emotional need or emotional immaturity or people-pleasing thing, which again, I'm a recovering people-pleaser addict. So I don't even want to think about how many decisions I've made in my life strictly to please somebody else. Not in obedience to God, not in my faith, I'm stepping out in faith for you, Lord, 100% because I wanted to please somebody else or other people, or I thought it would make me look better or be perceived better among other people. So you want to make sure you're not running to or from something. So that's one. Number two is identify what you're wanting more of. So not only what's the emotion that I'm currently feeling, but what do I feel I need more of? Do I need more of a challenge socially, mentally, emotionally, physically, intellectually? Again, because what you don't want to do is you don't want to jump into the wrong group for the wrong motive. You don't want to get new association you don't want to get new association that is maybe not your right tribe or not your right group for the wrong reasons, for the wrong motives. So that's number two. Identify what you're wanting more of. So be specific. That's important. Number three, identify who and where you're currently getting challenged, if any. You may be, maybe again, the buddy who asked this was in the military, so maybe he's getting challenged physically. Maybe he's got a great PT group, physical training group he's a part of, but maybe mentally, emotionally, intellectually, he's not getting challenged. Right? I don't know the scenario. So where are you getting challenged currently? Is it from a friend, a mentor, a tribe? And assess why you feel you are getting challenged from that person or from that group, from that organization. Where are you getting challenged? Assess why. And be creative on how can I either get more access with those couple spots where you are getting challenged, or how can you be more intentional with the access that you currently have to that person, that group, that tribe, that organization, that kind of thing. Okay, that's number three. Number four, how do you stay outside your comfort zone? Number 4, there are tremendous books, podcasts, people, tribes, social media groups, conferences that you can attend, read, listen to, begin to develop a relationship with, or be more intentional again with those relationships to begin to get stretched again in those areas that you feel like you want to get stressed or challenged in. So again, and how with those books, podcasts, conferences, people, tribes, so on and so forth, is one question: how can you be more intentional? So one of my friends, her name is Rowena, she's an amazing learner. So if she gets a lot of value from a book, she doesn't stop there. She goes and finds out TED Talks from that author, podcasts from that author, other books from that author, other YouTube videos from that author, podcasts from the, I already said podcasts, blogs, she goes and continues to get deeper and deeper and deeper with that author's content to get more out of, to get more challenged, more challenge from that author. So that's another excellent tip from an excellent learner, Rowena, that you can also apply. Which really goes to my next question too, is how can you get more access or get deeper or get more intentional with that content, person, tribe, the conference, that kind of thing? How can you get more out of it? Don't just be satisfied with that surface layer content. How can you get deeper? And really that applies to a great thing. Again, we homeschool with classical conversations, and there's something so powerful, that about, well, number one, about keeping Christ, in my opinion, keeping Christ in the center of our education, but also the classical model, which is the, again, fancy Latin term called the Trivium, which is 3 roads, how we all learn: grammar, dialectic, and rhetoric. There are stages of learning. Don't be satisfied with just a grammar stage of learning. Like, okay, I read the book, I get it. Well, again, how many times have I read the Bible and I still don't get it, right? So I'm going to be reading that book until I die and still not understand everything. So there are layers to learning. There are layers to your education. There are layers to being challenged. Seek out how can you push yourself in these different areas with these different people. So that's number 4, all that stuff. Number 5, last thing is, what environments challenge you? What environments have challenged you in the past? What environments have challenged you in the past? And when did they challenge you? What was the phase of life? What was the timing? And really do some evaluation and assessment for why those environments or people or tribes or social media groups or relationships, why did those challenge you so much? And how can you pursue those again, or seek out new opportunities, seek out new content, new books, new, again, TED Talks, new podcasts, YouTube folks. How can you begin to get more of that in your life? And then also, so that's number 5. Number 6, I would say, again, for those, maybe if you've got a faith background, you want to, pursue, your relationship with the Lord, is ask God, hey God, why am I not feeling challenged right now? And where do I need to get challenged? How can I, I tell you one, I don't, I guess I almost always feel a little bit challenged in my relationship with God, because I know that I don't understand everything, number 1. Number 2 is that my current understanding is probably not as accurate as I think it is. So how can I deepen my relationship with the Lord? So I feel like number 6, you can always get deeper in your relationship with the Lord, and therefore always be challenging yourself to know the Lord on a deeper level. Proverbs 3, 5, and 6, trust in the Lord. Hebrews 12, 1 and 2, let us fix our eyes on Jesus, the author and perfecter of our faith, who for the joy set before him endured the cross, scorning its shame, and said, so it keeps going on and on, but pursuing the Lord, seeking the Lord, pursuing that relationship with him and getting him to know him on a deep level. So 6 things right there. Assess why you feel that way. Identify what you're wanting more of. 3, identify who, where you're currently getting challenged, if anywhere. 4, books, podcasts, people, tribes, conferences, YouTube, TED Talks, and then how can you get deeper in your learning with that? And then 5, what environments have challenged you in the past? When have you been challenged in the past? Number 6 is deepen your relationship with the Lord, deepen your faith, pursue your faith, because I don't know that there's anybody on the planet that will ever truly arrive in our understanding in that area of our relationship with the Lord or our faith. God bless you all. I hope this encourages you. Please share a takeaway or a thought down below. Let's change the world by changing your world by changing you.